Now, the recent escalation between Iran and Israel has raised questions on the scale of attacks that will follow from both sides and opens a dangerous new chapter in the rivalries between the two West Asian powers.
For decades, the shadow of conflict has loomed over the Middle East. But what we witness in recent weeks isn't just a shadow. It's a rapidly unfolding crisis threatening to engulf the entire region and perhaps the world. The direct exchange of fire between Israel and Iran, a stark departure from their usual proxy warfare, has shattered long-held red lines and plunged us into an era of unprecedented danger. Are we on the precipice of a wider war? What are the implications, not just for the Middle East, but for global stability? Tonight, we delve into the heart of this escalating crisis. For years, the animosity between Israel and Iran has played out through a complex web of proxies. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, various militias in Syria and Iraq. It was a Cold War, fought in the shadows, carefully calibrated to avoid direct confrontation. But that era is over. The recent missile barges and reported retaliatory strikes have brought the two nations face to face, igniting fears of full-blown regional conflagration. This isn't just another regional flare-up. It's a fundamental shift in the geopolitical landscape, demanding our urgent attention. The recent events, a timeline of escalation. Let's trace the recent trajectory of this dangerous escalation. It began with the unprecedented Iranian missile and drone attack on Israel, a direct response to an Israeli strike on Iran's consulate in Damascus. Iran claimed its actions were justified under international law, citing Israel's alleged violation of its sovereignty. Israel, in turn, vowed a response, demonstrating its unwavering commitment to self-defense. The scale of the Iranian attack was significant, involving hundreds of projectiles. While the vast majority were intercepted, the sheer volume represented a dramatic escalation. Then came Israel's reported retaliatory strike, seemingly limited in scope, targeting a site near Isfahan in Iran. The deliberate ambiguity surrounding the strike, neither fully confirmed nor denied by Israel, speaks volumes about the delicate balance of deterrence at play. Each action, each reaction, pushes the region closer to the abyss. The world watches with bated breath, as the cycle of retaliation threatens to spiral out of control. The deep roots, historical context, and underlying tensions. To understand the present, we must look to the past. The roots of the Israel-Iran conflict run deep, tracing back to the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Before that, Israel and Iran had relatively cordial relations, but the establishment of the Islamic Republic, with its revolutionary ideology and anti-Israel stance, transformed the dynamic. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah and Hamas became a direct challenge to Israeli security. At the heart of Iran's motivation is its desire for regional hegemony and its ideological opposition to Israel. For Israel, Iran's nuclear program represents an existential threat, and its support for armed groups on Israel's borders is a constant source of concern. The nuclear dimension is particularly alarming. The prospect of a nuclear-armed Iran, especially amid such heightened tensions, raises the specter of unimaginable consequences. Add to this the complex web of regional rivalries. Saudi Arabia's apprehension of Iranian expansionism, the involvement of various non-state actors, and you have a volatile cocktail of grievances and ambitions. The players and their stakes, international reactions, and U.S. foreign policy. This isn't a two-player game. The world is watching, and major powers are heavily invested. The United States, Israel's staunchest ally, has consistently reiterated its support for Israel's security, while simultaneously urging de-escalation. President Biden has emphasized a two-pronged approach, strengthening Israel's defenses while working to prevent a wider regional war. But the U.S. also faces a delicate balancing act, as its own strategic interests in the region. Energy security, counterterrorism, are directly impacted. European nations have echoed calls for restraint, fearing the economic and humanitarian fallout of a major conflict. China and Russia, while maintaining their own complex relationships with both Israel and Iran, have generally favored diplomatic solutions, albeit with their own geopolitical considerations. The international community grapples with the challenge of preventing further escalation without inadvertently legitimizing one side or the other. Diplomatic efforts are underway behind the scenes, but the clock is ticking. The path forward, challenges and potential solutions. So, What can be done to prevent this crisis from spiraling into a full-scale regional war? The challenges are immense. The deep-seated mistrust, the ideological divides, and the complex network of proxy forces make a simple resolution elusive. Preventing nuclear proliferation remains a paramount concern, adding another layer of urgency to the diplomatic efforts. One key pathway involves robust diplomatic engagement, leveraging every available channel to de-escalate tensions. International pressure from a united front of global powers could be crucial in pushing both sides back from the brink. The United States, given its unique leverage, has a critical role to play in facilitating dialogue and mediating between the parties. While a single clear solution is not apparent, sustained diplomatic pressure and a commitment to de-escalation from all parties involved offer the best hope of averting a catastrophic conflict. The goal must be to address the underlying issues and create a framework for long-term stability, however challenging that may seem. Conclusion: the stakes for the world. The implications of a wider war between Israel and Iran extend far beyond the Middle East. Global energy markets will be thrown into chaos. Humanitarian crises would deepen, and a fragile international order would be severely tested. The potential for nuclear escalation, however remote, casts a chilling shadow over the entire situation. This is not just a regional issue. It is a global imperative to prevent the outbreak of a conflict that could reshape the world as we know it. The situation remains fluid, and every passing day brings new developments. As citizens of the world, understanding the complexities of this conflict is more vital than ever. We must stay informed, demand accountability from our leaders, and advocate for peaceful resolutions. The choices made in the coming days and weeks will determine the fate of millions and shape the future of global stability. The Middle East is on the brink, and the world holds its breath.